Hello everyone, and for those who don't know who I am, my name is Gabriella. I am a first year podiatry student at Rivera University School of Podiatric Medicine. My goal with this video is to show everyone different perspectives and different reasons people chose to enter the podiatry field and how people learned about it, because I feel like not a lot of people know about it. I'm going to tell you ways you can learn about it, even though you're learning about it through this channel. But it's really cool to see how different people heard about this profession, since I feel like when I was introduced to it, it was kind of like so random. Let me start with my story. Let me tell you my why, and then we'll go from there. So I graduated from undergrad in May of 2017. I did decide to take a gap year. Originally, while I was studying, I was pre-med, meaning that pre-med can be considered for podiatry, but I was specifically going to try to enter allopathic medical school. I was working in the OR at my city's hospital, and I worked as an anesthesia technician. I was secondhand to the anesthesiologist and the CRNA, which stands for Certified Registered Nurse Anesthetist. I can make a separate video about what that job entailed and how amazing it was, but for now I'll keep it brief. I worked as an anesthesia technician, which allowed me to have exclusive access, I guess you can say, in the OR, because I could see so many different types of specialists, like anesthesia, general surgery, plastic surgery, OBGYN, let's see, a number of different specialties. And it wasn't till one day I saw a podiatrist with their badge saying DPN on it. And I was like, what's DPM? They're like, Doctor of Podiatric Medicine. And I was like, what's Doctor of Podiatric Medicine? I had no idea about podiatry, like at all. I did my research online. I was like, wow, like how do people not know more about this profession? Like during undergrad, like it was either pre-med, nursing, PA. That's it. That's what we were told. Like that's what people would come and talk to us about. That, like, I've never heard of someone coming to my school and talking about podiatry. It wasn't broadcasted. It wasn't like something that people were told about as much or to the level of nursing, PA, or MDDO. So when I heard about it, I did my research and I was like, this is crazy. Like this is such a great profession. Like why don't people know more about it? So I started shadowing an amazing doctor. He was so great. I got to shadow him in the surgical setting. I got to shadow him at his clinic where he works with many other podiatrists, like 5 other podiatrists, and I got to see them work, each of them, their different styles. I got to ask them questions. Podiatry has the ability for you to become a surgeon. It has the ability for you to become a dermatologist. It has the ability for you to become a radiologist. It has the ability for you to become like anything. You do almost everything. You do dermatology, you work with kids, you work with older people, you work with all types of people. You work on the feet. You need your feet. I'm just kidding. They're such an essential, important part. Like podiatrists, their job is so important. And that is why I chose to be a podiatrist. Ever since I was little, I wanted to be a doctor. Ever since I was little, I wanted to be a doctor. I always used to say, oh, I like OBGYN, I love babies, or oh, this, that. But then when I ran into podiatry as a profession and I got to shadow, I saw everything click. Everything was put in its place. Like everything fit perfectly. Everything fit perfectly. What I'd be doing, what my job would entail, the life I would have outside of my job, how important my job would be. Like everything was perfect for me. It was a perfect fit for me. And I was just so happy. Like I almost felt like fate was perfect. Like I decided to take my gap year. I ran into this profession, fell in love with this profession, dedicated myself to this profession, and I'm so excited to embark on this journey. And there are plenty of other people who will tell you why they decided to commit to podiatry as well and how they heard about it. If you continue watching, I did record a couple people from my class to tell you their perspective and why they chose to do podiatry. So many different perspectives and so many different stories that brought them to the same thing that maybe you can relate to.
My name is Max Morales, freshman at Barry University, 2022 class. So my intro to podiatry is a little off. So I wanted to do medical school. I wanted to do radiology or dermatology. And when I was studying for the MCAT, I did a run. It was called the BK Run, Burger King Run. It's at Miami Beach. And I never trained for it. I was just a badass and I did it. Hurt myself doing it and didn't go to a doctor. So I found myself looking online at the bones, you know, what's going on in my foot, why does it hurt so much, feeling around. And I realized that there are doctors called podiatrists, and they go after these types of things. They do legs in Florida, and they do surgery, they do dermatology, they do radiology. So it kind of combined all the types of medicine that I did want to do, and it's an interesting field. They go very in depth. They do more than most specialists do, and that's when I looked into Barry. I found a doctor who went to Barry, Dr. Carbonell, and he allowed me to shadow him. After like one email, I was like, hey, I need some experience because to get into podiatry school, you need to shadow a podiatrist. So it worked out in the end. I got the experience I needed. I applied. They welcomed me with open arms.
Why did you choose podiatry?
Sports medicine.
Sports medicine? Both of you said that? Okay, how did you hear about podiatry?
Dr. Rodriguez.
Okay, and how did you?
My dad's a podiatrist.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
I heard about podiatry through a podiatrist I met through the ER.
And what made you want to do podiatry?
Probably diabetic would be.
Awesome.
Hi, my name is Karissa. I'm a first-year podiatric medicine student here at Yale University. And why podiatry? I chose that route. It's a little bit more personal to me because my aunt lost her limb during the earthquake. So she had both of her legs are amputated. So she's going through a lot of pain, and I feel like I didn't know that much about the field until my aunt's situation. And I wanted to be a podiatrist just to alleviate her pain, just to help her out. So it was more a very personal choice for me to be a podiatric student.
I'm Rivera. I'm first year podiatry student here at Rivera University, School of Podiatric Medicine. So how did I hear about podiatric medicine? So I was a pre-med student at University of Miami. I got this email from a Dr. Robinson, saying that there's this mini Podiatric Medical School workshop here at Rivera University. At that time, I didn't really know what podiatry was, but it sounded really interesting how he was describing it. So I just came, to the workshop. It was a full-day workshop, and he talked about podiatric medicine, about the school, how everything was, and I really loved and fell in love with the career pathways. And one of the things that actually captured my attention was that there's so many different levels of things that you could do as a podiatrist. Someone could come into your clinic with a simple ingrown toenail or a fungal nail, and then the next patient could be a complex and neuropathic ulcer that could be infected, and then you have to do some wound management, or you could have an athlete coming the next day on the next visit, and you might have to do a complex biomechanical assessment or even surgery. So just a variety, and the time the amount of time that you save as well, to going through residency and going through that surgical pathway. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I myself have been exposed now for a couple years in the podiatry field, and I think I made the right choice.
My name's Tor Lundberg, and I chose podiatry because I'm going to crush it in private practice.
Awesome.
Hi, my name's Karissa and so I chose podiatry because, well, my mom introduced me to it. She's a first assist scrub tech, and so I've always loved ortho. I like working on cars and stuff like that, and she told me that I couldn't handle like mallets for like huge orthopedic surgeries, and so she told me to check out podiatry. It's kind of like same thing as ortho. We do kind of everything, but it's smaller instruments. And so I checked it out. I shadowed a couple of surgeries. I saw an ORIF, and I thought it was really cool. And then I was able to shadow the podiatrist at his clinic, and you know, I was able to see different grafts and stuff like that, and just the diversity that podiatry brings to the table. It's pretty awesome. Like, you know, you don't have to live in the OR, and you don't have to live at your clinic either. So it gives you like a really balanced life.
Hey guys, my name is Joel. I'm a first-year Podiatric Medical student. I first heard about podiatry when my sister's husband actually injured his ankle walking down the stairs, and he came back telling me about the great care he received at the clinic. At that time, I was looking at other specialties to rotate through, meaning shadowing. But I found that podiatry offered a great sense of variety, meaning clinical aspect and surgical aspect. So I also wanted a specialty that was family friendly. So that's why I chose podiatry.
Yeah. So we're gonna have Stephanie. She speaks fluent English, but she's gonna speak in Spanish so that those who speak Spanish, you know, get a little bit more understanding from this video and gain a little bit too. Not just the people who are English speakers.
Hi everyone, my name is Jana. I am a first year at Rivera University School of Podiatric Medicine.
And I am Stephanie, yo hablo español, so les voy a estar hablando español. Yo soy de primer año de la Universidad de Rivera University en Miami.
How did you hear about podiatry?
Well, I didn't know much about podiatry, but I have a cousin who's a podiatrist, and I went to go visit her in Virginia. She told me a little bit more about it, and at first I was kind of like, whatever. But then I decided, you know, I wanted to really explore all of my options. This is a big commitment, you know, it's a long portion of your life you're going to spend in school. So I started doing my research, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to shadow for a little bit, see how I like it, and I ended up loving it, so that's why I'm here.
Pues para mí fue un poquito diferente, ya que yo era atleta, yo estuve alrededor de muchos podiatras y muchos ortopedas, yo sabía más o menos dónde yo quería ir y para dónde era mi pathway. Decidí podiatría. Yo tuve 2 operaciones, yo jugaba baloncesto, tuve que tener 2 operaciones. Eso como que me ayudó más a conocer la rama de lo que es la podiatría. Entonces primero decidí hacer shadowing con un podiatra y luego pues ya decidí estar acá.
Thank you so much for watching this video. It was very special recording it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to comment down below or